Hello, my friends. Today, the occupiers have slightly reduced their activity in offensive actions. There have been 52 attacks over the day. However, shelling continues in large quantities. The Russians have no shortage of various types of ammunition. Unfortunately, there is information that they have already managed to cut off the road to Avdiivka. And you know what the situation is like there. But let's go through everything step by step, starting with the Kupiansk direction. Here, the occupiers continue shelling, but no new offensive actions are being conducted yet. Preparations are underway. In the area of Tabayivka, the Ukrainian Armed Forces managed to hold their defense, and the front line remains unchanged over the day. There are no new attacks reported for today. In the Svatove direction, the occupiers shelled Novoiehorivka, but there is no further activity along the front line. In the direction of Kreminna, the occupiers didn't succeed in the area of the village of Terny, and today they are trying to improve their positions in the forest near Yampolivka. 2 attacks were recorded over the day with moderate activity. Shelling continues along the entire front line. In the Siversk direction, the occupiers have begun actively attacking Bilohorivka from 2 sides and intensively shelling the entire front line. Further south, in the area of Novoiehorivka, all attacks have ceased and the front line remains unchanged. In the Bakhmut direction, the occupiers are also attempting to hit the rear as hard as possible and are shelling Kramatorsk, Kostiantynivka and Chasiv Yar. Offensive actions are also continuing in Bohdanivka, Ivanivske and Klishchiivka. Over the day, the occupiers conducted 8 attacks. The Ukrainian Armed Forces on the ground report that they are holding Ivanivske with all their might.
The Russians are trying to put pressure on Ivanivske. Now they are moving their forces in a checkerboard formation, people, almost trained, and equipment. And so on in a circle all day until something is advanced. The program is the same in Bohdanivka. Today the Russians had an advance, ours destroyed them with artillery and drones, ours came in, the Russians advanced, ours mixed them with mud. Unfortunately, not all of them, tomorrow we will work on it, but the Russians have a lot of manpower.
The situation is challenging, but the Ukrainian Armed Forces are repelling attacks and there are no significant changes along the front line. In the Avdiivka direction, the occupiers conducted 12 attacks over the day. And although the activity has decreased, it's because battles are now raging within the city itself. Offensive actions were observed only near Novoiehorivka today on the flanks. It's also evident that the occupiers are intensively shelling the entire adjacent territory to break the Ukrainian Armed Forces positions and prevent them from advancing into Avdiivka. Battles are taking place both in the northern and southern parts of the city. According to the latest reports, the occupiers have managed to cut off the road after all.
According to the updated data of the map of the military public deep state, in Avdiivka the Russians cut the road that connects the city with the coke plant and leads to the west. Commenting on the blockade of the main road in Avdiivka by the occupiers, the Ukraine Public Control Map writes that it's time to either suffer losses and clear this road, or leave the war zone. It is noted that through Industrial Avenue there is a provision of Avdiivka garrison of the Armed Forces of Ukraine. The avenue leads to the coke plant, and from there to the Lastokine and Orlivka. https://sasaidi.comments.ua/uae/news/voroshia/voroji-perezavy-vdaforci-dorogu-gti-skoda-ce-dash-ozначай-72572.html. Copyright comments.ua.
For now, this information is not officially confirmed, so the maps are not being updated hastily. However, the Ukrainian Armed Forces report from the ground that it's currently very difficult to establish a specific front line. This is because the occupiers are advancing from all sides and attempting to penetrate the city as deeply as possible, while the Ukrainian Armed Forces are pushing them back with all their might.
After being in the rear, the 3rd Assault Brigade in Avdiivka. Currently, there is unconfirmed information that the horde has been pushed back from the road on Industrial Avenue.
So, today the front line is uncertain, and we are waiting to see how events will unfold further. Also, the results of yesterday's Russian strike in the vicinity of the settlement of Tsukurine have been published.
The enemy released a video of strikes on our equipment in the area of the settlement of Tsukurine. It is not entirely clear what motivated the order to place 6 units of equipment in one landing and 6 at next to it at a distance of 28 km from the LBZ. Almost 2 years of war with an enemy who has all possible means of destruction and reconnaissance, and such mistakes cost us both equipment and, first of all, people's lives.
As you understand, not only do the Ukrainian Armed Forces destroy enemy equipment and personnel, but occupiers also conduct reconnaissance and try to destroy Ukrainian equipment. In the Marinka direction, the occupiers continue their offensive actions towards Novoiehorivka, the village of Pobeda, and Novoiehorivka. 11 attacks were recorded over the day. However, they didn't achieve any success, and the front line remains unchanged. In the Vuhledar direction, all attacks have ceased. Today, only shelling continues along the entire front line. In the Zaporizhia direction, there has been increased activity near Novoprakovka, and unfortunately, they managed to break through closer to Mala Tokmachka. The General Staff stated that the Ukrainian Armed Forces successfully repelled one attack. However, it's evident that the occupiers could advance up to 4.5 kilometers from the front line, so indicating difficulties in constructing the defense line from the Ukrainian side. In the Kherson direction, the occupiers shell the entire right bank and continue their attempts to force the Ukrainian Armed Forces out of the village of Kreminna. The Russians haven't yet raised the Russian flag in the village of Kreminna and are very displeased that the Ukrainian Armed Forces have raised the Ukrainian flag. Meanwhile, the US Senate has finally approved a bill for international assistance totaling over $60 billion to aid Ukraine.
Бажаю здоров'я, шановні українці, українки. Є позитив зі Сполучених Штатів. Щойно Сенат проголосував за продовження підтримки нашої країни, наших воїнів. Рішення, заради якого ми дуже багато працювали, рішення якого очікували не лише ми, багато інших народів, зокрема у Європі. Світ, який чекає, що американське лідерство і надалі буде твердим і допомагатиме захищати життя і берегти свободу. Це дійсно додає впевненості і мотивації. Я дякую лідеру більшості в Сенаті Чаку Шумеру та лідеру республіканців Мітчу МакКоннеллу за рішучість та морально сильний вибір. Демократія точно вистоїть. Дякую кожному із 70 сенаторів, які проголосували позитивно. Україна дуже це цінує. Це був перший крок. Далі Палата представників, голосування конгресменів там. Очікуємо позитивного рішення. Сподіваємось на принципову підтримку. І віримо, що Америка надалі залишатиметься лідером. Я дякую кожному, хто допомагає, дякую всім, хто цінує життя та свободу, так само, як українці. Слава Україні!
And that's all from me. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell to stay updated on all the latest news. Thank you for watching and see you next time. Bye bye.